If the creeper can travel from this caravan to this truck within a matter of seconds, perhaps it's more deadly than we're giving it credit for. From my understanding, wherever the creeper is, the crows are. And when Darry and Trish arrive at the church, the crows are already there. Was the creeper secretly down there with Darry inside the church, hidden somewhere? It wouldn't be likely, but the thought of it is quite terrifying, and I'd like to imagine it could have been possible. But it does, however, beg the question, just how fast and easy is it for this creature to travel? Originally, this theory was nothing more than a short video I'd released a couple days ago, but I wanted to give it more thought and more time to expand on it and try and analyze just from the first two films exactly how this movie villain works. I scoured through the making of the second film in hopes of learning something more about this, looking for any information that would clue into its abilities as a monster, which you can only hope to find in projects like these, given it's sort of like a documentary in how it documents the film process. Just hoping that it would paint a better picture and help us understand what all those victims were dealing with. It's not a case that the creeper is invincible. More so, its ability to regenerate body parts allowed for it to stay alive so long, feeding off other people's body. After the events of the first film, the creeper didn't begin working on Darry immediately, and it was careful not to damage his eyes, which would have happened had they been removed from the front. As the song Jeepers Creepers played, the creature began its gruesome work, and it removed the back of Darry's skull, causing all those agonizing screams. Darry ultimately died when the creeper extracted his brain to claim the eyes. Afterward, the creeper spent some time removing its own eyes before consuming Darry's, which then became its own. Holding a long needle, it prepared to stitch the back of Darry's head shut. The creeper then suspended Darry's eyeless, lifeless, naked corpse from the ceiling. At some point later on, drawn to the rose tattoo on Darry's stomach, it removed his belly button and fashioned it into a throwing weapon, which we would see in the next film. A tool that, even if its speed in claiming its victims is slow, can take them down, dropping their bodies and giving it time to still hunt. It's unsaid where its accuracy would stem from. However, if you're alive for thousands of years, you can only believe it would have been a learned skill. In both first two films, we get a look at under the creeper's trench coat, and it bared two large bat-like wings strong enough to carry himself and at least one other person. And while this doesn't give us any indication on exactly how fast it was, we're to understand its ability to hunt is thanks to the wings attached to its back, used to take it from place to place extremely swiftly. We see it fly a lot more in the second film, but it doesn't immediately tell us exactly how fast it can go. And really, our best bet to guess how fast it really is remembering how it went from the caravan to the truck so effortlessly, without being seen, and giving off some sort of impression that the truck was behind it constantly. Nobody knows how. It's been said the truck is part of the creeper and they work as one, but I'm not entirely certain how I feel about that. With everything we've seen from the creeper's ability to hunt and to track, I don't believe for a second that it's not remotely possible that it was in the church with Darry, and if it's true, it would change some things, and it leaves us with questions we could never have an answer for, unless we could. So how do we determine what flight speed the creeper has? It'll be difficult, but we're going to do our best. There are more flight scenes in the second film, which we're going to use for this little study, and one scene in particular that makes this estimation remotely possible, some would even say slightly easy. Unless the creeper's ability to fly at certain speeds would be linked to its state, like when it's hurt, or when it's hungry, or when it's tired even, then we can judge its top flight speed by the truck chase scene toward the end of the film. We know the truck is a Chevy, and by finding the car means we can find the top speed of the vehicle. And judging by the creeper and the car being almost neck and neck, but favouring the creeper at the end if they hadn't crashed, we can tell its max speed, kind of. We can guess closely. On first glance, a solid guess would obviously be a Chevy truck, but on inspection, I'm going to go with the 1969 Chevrolet C20. The 69 C20 produces 250 horsepower, and from what I've been researching about the truck, it has a top speed of 100 miles per hour. There isn't a confirmation on if it hit the max speed in the film, because there's quite a lot of variables, but we're going to try and figure it out. So this will be rough, but gauging from the 100 miles per hour, the creeper was about to grab DeAndre, but the car obviously flipped and it stopped him. The creeper seemed to honestly have a hard time matching the speed of the vehicle, in which we don't even know if the vehicle had hit the max speed, but the creeper did gain on it. Even though it wasn't easy, we do know the creeper did catch up. So let's say the truck was going 100 miles per hour. The creeper can barely go 100 miles per hour also, and we're not sure if things such as its health or its energy are players in its speed, seeing as though it took hits from the harpoon and it was on its final day of its feeding cycle. We truly don't know if under better circumstances the creeper could have well passed the 100 mark. The beginning of the film actually shows us the back of the caravan where the creeper killed the first two victims, which we see it does have a back window, so this is the only way the creeper could have left so quickly without being seen. This seems like it wouldn't really be possible, so maybe the only answer for that is that it's movie magic. Again, with the second film, there's a lot of variables, like if the creeper was weakened but could reach 100 miles per hour, means that maybe its max speed when fully healthy could be even higher in the range of 120 plus miles per hour. And if it was losing power to its cycle ending, how do we really gauge this correctly? Given the injuries, I'm going to assume the creeper wasn't at full speed, but we just don't know. And I'm not nearly energized enough to go frame by frame and try to confirm the exact speed it was going in relation to the truck, so we're just going to have to assume that it can depend on many different factors. And it also shines light on the fact that none of this stuff was really ever supposed to have an answer, and by us trying to figure it out leaves the answer in our discretion, so sincere accuracy isn't even really possible. It's strikingly obvious that this creature has a fine-tuned ability to communicate, but it just chooses not to. And it even goes as far as creating its own license plate that reads out "Be eating you." I don't know exactly its connection with the crows, and it's only assumed they have some sort of ability to communicate with the creeper, but at the least it could be seen as one of two things. They are its eyes, so to speak, or they are no more than just bad omens to warn victims about the death that's about to happen. The creeper has been confirmed to be compulsive from the writer, meaning there is no scenario outside of it being stopped for it to stop hunting.
At the end of those 23 days, in an open field by a broken down school bus, it once again ran out of time.
And the crazy thing is, evidence doesn't point at it wanting Darry's eyes as its own were failing, but instead, he chose wanting Darry's eyes because of what Darry saw in the creeper's house of pain, with all the bodies greatly terrifying him. And if that wouldn't be the case, it's simply a plot from the filmmaking perspective, as the song Jeepers Creepers is about getting eyes, and how the movie poster shows just the creeper's eye looking through an unsewn patch. Its want for fear is stronger than I think we can understand, as we had seen deceased young Billy shown to have a bloody head wound, implying that the creeper ate a chunk of his brain because Billy developed fearing him based on initially thinking he saw the creeper moving while disguised as a scarecrow. And this only further pushes the importance of how fear is some sort of pleasure for this specific creature.
We're screwed, right?
Yeah.
Scotty, you're not talking about throwing people off this bus.
It's funny you should say that, D, because the only other one we know it picked out for sure was you.
Whoa, hold on a second.
The creeper will get you where it wants you. Why it wants you there, I don't know. But this thing, it's smart, and I don't think it will let you be somewhere you're not supposed to be. Like Minxie said, it doesn't matter where you are. If you have something it wants, you aren't safe. It will get it. Maybe not today, but it will get it. Rest in peace, Nikki.
A devastating bit of news. It was revealed on November 20th, 2022, that supernatural actor Nikki Aycox died on November 16th. Aycox's sister-in-law, Susan Robb Siklowski, broke the news in a Facebook post that the 47-year-old actor and musician had passed away, writing, "My beautiful, smart, fierce, incredibly talented and loving sister-in-law, Nikki Aycox Robb, passed away yesterday with my brother Matt Robb by her side.